This is something I've been experimenting with for the past 6 months. I've been taking my Patreon along on that journey, you know, each time I go out on a job. Obviously, since when I'm here at home, I do curate this because, as you can see behind me, I do have a collection of baby stands and C-stands and things like that. But when I'm out on the road, that's a little different bit of a story. And that's kind of how I came up with this whole idea. So for those of you that know, this past summer, my wife and I started our passion project, a documentary series, not only video, but also through photography, street photography, film photography. We were able to cover 11,000 miles in 2 months, and I was able to document 14 different cities. And when I'm out on the road, all I had with me was my Astera kit, my Astera tubes. And I've since kind of divvied those up, and I've only kept 2 of those. However, inside of here, there are still 9 lights with all the modifiers, all the stands, all the grip, power supplies. I got 2 floppies in here, even a 4x4 silk, everything to make my portable book light, literally everything. The only thing that wouldn't fit in there, obviously, is this big key light and its entire modifier kit. This is basically the gaffer kit for the Cream Source Micro. Really powerful bicolor light. I've talked about that a few years back, so I'll put links to that video down below so you can go check that out after you watch this one. But I thought this might be nice for you guys looking for a truly minimalist lighting package. Let's get in here because this is a little nuts. But let's just start with what we see. This is 24x36 road rag kit. So there's 2 frames in here for 24x36 frames, 2 blacks, 2 red nets, 1 green net, and 1 silk. So I'm good on that. This is my Godox umbrella. This is a huge umbrella, and this is what I use for my portable book light. And what I normally do is double break this. It does come with a magic cloth. This is what I use along with the cream source. So the cream source will blast up into this Godox umbrella, and it's a portable book light. This is my light sock for my Astera Titan tube. It's a beautiful, nice, soft fill light. You'll notice I have 2 floppies. This is my first floppy, okay? This is my second floppy. Inside of here, rolled up, is my Astera Titan tube. So that's the one that goes inside the light sock. But to transport it safely, I keep it wrapped up in this floppy. Next in here, I have this. This is a honey crate for an Astera Helios, and the Helios is right inside of there. So all you gotta do is pull it out. The honey crate is there, and the Astera Helios is there. I have 4x4 China silk. Now, I mainly use this to put over a window that's off camera, and it just softens that, or I use it to double break the umbrella, which is the book light when it's combined with the cream source. This right here is a little miniature Godox Lico style light. Everything I need for that is in here. All the gobos, scrims, the gels, the irises, the leaves. I even have a specialized dog times gobo, glass gobo for when I'm doing my YouTube videos. I haven't used that in a really long time, but I absolutely love having a Lico style light. And it's, you know, it's not super powerful, but it's just for like a little accent light, edge light, hair light, whatever. And then this goes along with it. This is the projector attachment for it. Now we're getting deeper in here, and you'll notice this side is the stands. Now here's the beauty of this. It all comes down to the type of stands that you choose to use. So I do have some normal stands in here. These are just normal Matthews stands. These are very sturdy stands. You can't use modifiers with this, right? This is really just for one of the light options. So you'll see, like, maybe I'll put like the Titan or the Helios on here. You know, I use these little tube grips from Modern Studio, and you know, you put a grip head on the top of the stand, you put this on there, and then you can have full control of your tubes. 4 grip heads total, and I have 2 of these because, you know, I have 2 Astera tubes. I have 3 of these, just normal stands. The other trick is these bad boys. I have 4 of these. This specific brand is ICANN, but it's not so much about the brand, it's about the style of light stand. So you'll notice when I open the base of these things, look how wide the legs are. And not only how long and wide the legs are, but this thing will sit completely flat on the ground. So now I can use a boom mic with this, and as long as I hang the boom mic over the same arm, you know, the same way you would treat it with a C-stand, it's not going to tip over. The base length is so wide and flat. So I actually get away with using my floppy on this. I can use my 24x36 road rags on this. It's quite nice. So that's kind of the trick of how I get around not having to take C-stands with me when I'm on the road. There's 4 of these in there and 2 normal ones. what you see now is this. This is a frame. This is just the top T-bar frame of, of a 4x4 frame, but I only take the top half, okay? You'll see there the corners, and it connects in the middle. It's a breakaway two-foot segments, and then you can build just the top frame. And all I do is hang one of my floppies from this, and then I have my negative fill. I mean, I could easily bring the other half of this 4x4 frame. However, it'd be quite dangerous without an actual C-stand. But in all of my scenarios, I've never needed to do that. I just hang the floppy. I just, waterfall it, as they say. This is the trick to my book light, okay? So I take one of my awesome ICANN stands with the huge base on it, and it can take the strength of this portable book light. I put this offset arm on the top, and the cream source goes on the part of the offset arm that is directly connected to the light stand. Meanwhile, on the other side, so this goes on the other side, and then my Godox umbrella snaps into that. And now I have a beautiful portable book light, quite powerful. You could choose to use anything for your external key light. Maybe something more powerful like a Nova 600 or something like that. You'll notice also down here I also have another tripod for either my Astera or my Helios. I do have an MP9. These are amazing. I take this for all different reasons. This is a Modern Studio Equipment exclusive product right here. They call it the MP9 because there's 9 different ways to configure something. I mean, you can use this with B-boards. It has a spot for a gobo head. It's just amazing. Or you can just like rig to an overhead rafter and, hang a tube or something, whatever you need to do. And I also have with me a little collection of clamps and things for number ones. Always good to have clamps because then I can clamp my 4x4 silk. My second 4x4 floppy, I can clamp it, black out something if I need to. These are always good to have, these kind of little like scorpion clamps. I take extras of these little bullet clamps, as well as a magnetic tube clamp for my smaller tubes. So now we're getting into this section, and this is more lights in here. So I have my Roscoe Dash with the dot. That is my eye light. I've done a whole video on that. That's in there. I have a baby stinger in here, just a normal house stinger in here, as well as you'll notice I have another splitter in here, right there, so that and that. And then there are 3 other tubes in here. So the first one is my Soonweld tube. This is a beautiful pixel map tube, waterproof. And I also have 2 of the little baby Godox tubes. And I love these as well because even though these are not pixel mapped, I can still connect these together. And now I can use these for whatever. I've done videos on, I've had these lights forever, guys. And I mean, again, you can keep whatever lights you want in your kit, but I think the main thing is you're getting ideas of, I've done enough videos in the past talking about why I use certain kinds of lights. And, I think you're all understanding this. This is just another little baby tripod for one of those tubes if they need to stand on their own. In here, I take with me 2 Astera Nix bulbs. Okay, these are priceless. And I love using the Astera bulbs way more than the aperture bulbs because, one, the aperture bulbs overheat, and the aperture bulbs look like aperture bulbs. They do not look like real light bulbs, and I love using the Asteras. Now, I have a whole set of these, but when I'm on the road, I only take 2, and I use a cord bag to keep them wrapped up really nice. And let's see if I can do this in the right order, one-handed. Yeah, so I just keep them wrapped up in a cord bag so nothing happens to them. And, I mean, you're always going to have a lamp or something. And if you don't have a lamp, you can either plug them into the remote and let them stand there and hide the remote, or you just use a couple of these bad boys, and you can literally just power the bulbs off of any USB power supply. And then also, I also, keep a little Godox remote for those baby Godox tubes. Yeah, and then this one, too, is all of the accessories. I have other accessories in here, splitters. These are house splitters. These are great to have, little grids for the things. I love taking these as well because these just strap onto any light stand and you can just clamp a V-mount brick into this and it's quite nice. Okay, so put this back down there, keep the Astera bulb safe. Speaking of V-mounts, I have a thing of gaff. I always keep gaff with me. And I have 4 V-mounts. So I have 2 of these 150s. They might be 175. And then 2 of the big boys. These are like 300 each. And then I have another V-mount stand holder, as well as, this is my favorite thing. I keep these with my monitors as well. I have quite a few of these. These are MPF dummy batteries to V-mount adapters. okay? These are priceless to take with you everywhere, especially when you're on the road, doing random shoots. Some old houses or wherever you're filming, they might not have these kind of plugs. With the 3-prong, it might only be a 2-prong. So these, I just keep a gang of these with me at all times. These have come in handy so many times. There's lots of nice spaces in here to hide AirTag as well. Now you might be wondering, why the hell are you doing this to yourself? Because it might seem crazy kind of having all of this in one thing, but it really does come in super handy when you're on the road and just having everything contained in one kit like this. Now obviously this is no camera stuff. Maybe I'll do another video showing the camera package. But when I'm here, you know, I take C-stands with me, and that's cool too. And I take bigger lights with me too, because I still have a few bigger lights as well. But when I'm on the road, I want to be super minimalist as possible. And what I found is, like, just going out with this Stera Titans, that's all I had. It wasn't quite enough to do what I wanted to do. And I just thought, you know, I need a more well-rounded kit. You know, so now I have a really nice key light, I have the portable book light, I have the little mini Lico for an edge or whatever. I still have the Titan with the light sock for super soft fill, I have my floppies. You know, I have things, I have the umbrella to make the book light, I got my eye light, you know, I have the essentials for talking heads, you know, because you're talking about documentary style, you're talking about your YouTube videos on the go, you just need enough to cover all your bases. And, you know, honestly, now that I have the FX6, the auto exposure with the automatic variable ND is so exquisitely nice, and that helps out doing one-man band stuff, you know, certainly. So I don't have to worry myself as much anymore, and this is the way to go, man. I love being minimalist as possible. I don't want to be on a travel job and, like, you know, having to carry a bunch of stuff all by myself. It's just not ideal, you know. Plus two, now it's contained. It won't be flying around in the van when you're traveling or anything. You know, you don't have any loose stands that'll come flying if you get in a wreck or something like that. Everything is contained in this huge Godox case, and I absolutely love that. Links down below so you can do your research on this stuff. I'm not trying to push you guys on the light kit. You know, I encourage everyone to buy whatever lights you like. Me, though, you know, you guys know how I feel about in order to have a well-rounded kit. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a full breakdown on that, and I'll put a link to that video down below, because I do think that there are certain types of lighting fixtures that everyone needs in their kit to have a truly well-rounded kit. And I think, hands down, that is one of my better videos that unfortunately got really slept on. So I'll leave that down below, and I'll leave it tagged here so you can watch it right after this one. So thanks for the support, guys, and we'll see you out there.